Hey, Greg Adler here, president of Off-Road Warehouse and part-time off-road racer. Here at ORW, we're not just your typical off-road shop. We sell race parts. Come check it out. We sell everything from FK rod ends, Bragola, PCI radios, and we're even selling direct BF Goodrich racing tires. Check out any one of our 10 Off-Road Warehouse locations. Get you dialed for going down to Baja or anywhere else you play.
Sure, everything's made of something, but time and sweat is what puts it together. And it's that relentless application of effort against the clock that created everything around us. The BF Goodrich HD terrain tire is engineered to tackle the extreme situations heavy-duty trucks are met with head-on. Because downtime can't exist when there's a job to do. Time isn't something to marvel at. It's something to be seized. It's a tool we put firmly in your hands. BF Goodrich, what are you building for?
Branding and marketing is important because whatever you do is going to set you apart.
Branding is everything nowadays. I get the question all the time. How do you get sponsorship? How do you run the program like you do? How do you make it look as good as you do? It takes effort, it takes money, it takes time, and it takes a vision.
You can represent yourself professionally, you can look good, you can feel good. If you look good and feel good, you're going to end up going good.
There's Black Friday, and then there's Black Friday every day in November at Alexander Ford. Voted Yuma's best new car dealer. Come enjoy historic deals and our lowest lease offers of the year on final 2024 Escapes, Bronco Sport, F-150, Ranger, and Edge. Scan this code and look for additional savings on manager specials. It's Black Friday savings all month long. Browse BillAlexanderFord.com and let us show you why we are your best choice. For a difference you can count on, see Alexander Ford in Yuma.
All right, what's going on, everybody? We are back here on Fishgistics. We left you guys a little bit early last update, thinking that Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight was actually going to be worth watching. Wow, that was a complete joke, huh? What did you guys think? I told you that Mike Tyson wasn't going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. That was a complete joke. We could have stayed on here and given you guys an update, and that would have been more exciting than that thing was, huh? What a joke. All right, well, let's get back over to the tracker where there's some actual action going on, because there was anything but action there. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't pay any money extra for that, right? If that was a pay-per-view fight, I would have been pissed. At least it was on Netflix for free. So you know what else is free? Your Fishgistics updates are free, so nobody can ever complain about them, because if you don't like it, too bad. I'll give you a refund, okay? How about that? All right. Anyways, let's go talk about some racing action, because that's what we're here to do. We're here to watch racing of the Baja 1000, the biggest race of the year. So we have Luke McMillan, which this race doesn't have much action, honestly. Like, Luke's kind of running away with it right now. Like, Rob Mack was in the truck. He drove the first half of the race. He did what Rob Mack does, of course. Kept it smooth. He didn't get passed by anybody. He just kept it up front there once he was up front, and just that was it. Rob Mack did what he does. That's why he's the GOAT. Now Luke's in there. Luke's got a pretty big lead. He's at mile 656 right now. You can see that the next car is actually going to be Alan Impudia, though. So his lead is not as big as it looks on the tracker. You need to keep in mind, look at Alan Impudia's. It hasn't updated for 24 minutes. So Alan Impudia's live camera is working, though. So his star stream is working. If you guys want to watch, at least his forward camera is. So if you want to watch his camera, you can go over there to Alan Impudia's star stream, and you can watch Alan literally try and run down Luke McMillan. But I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. We'll have to see. But let's go look at some of the timing here and see if, let's see. All right. Hold on. We got to zoom out on this screen for you guys, because this thing is different ratio than my other screen. All right. Let's come back in here. So, all right. Luke McMillan, S6. So S6 is going to be, once again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, mile 500. So S7, the next one that I want to see, is going to be mile 616. So let's see, where was Luke at? Luke was at Let's see what miles he's at. He's at 656. Okay, so that last one must not have worked if I counted right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 was supposed to be 500, and 6 was 956. Yeah, okay. So the S7, I don't know if that timing one's working. That one might not work. Let's go look at a moto real quick and see if S7 worked on the motos. It did work on the motos, so that's a little bit weird. So it was supposed to be at 6:16, and we should have had a time for Luke there, but we didn't get a time for Luke yet. So our next one was supposed to be at 7:18. So we might not get split times for you guys until 7:18, which is either going to be S7 or S8. So we're going to have to wait and see on corrected time how close Alan Impudia is. Someone send me a text and let me know if you guys are on course right now, how far physical Alan Impudia was behind Luke McMillan, or put it here in the chat. If you saw recently, if you saw Luke and Alan recently, let me know what the actual physical split was, because their trackers are not working right now. Well, Luke's tracker is working, but you can see Alan's is not. Alan's tracker has not been working very well today. So that's why we don't know exactly where Alan is. In third, it does look like it is probably going to be Tavo Vadosila now, because Dan McMillan's tracker updated 1 minute ago, and Tavo's updated 2 minutes ago, and he's in front of him. So that's what's going on there. And then let's see what else you guys have. So 1, 2, 3. So Dan McMillan is actually back to fourth place, most likely is what it looks like, because Tavo's got around him. So Dan is in fourth, Tavo's in third. Now look at this. Mike Walser is at 0 miles an hour at the highway. That's probably a planned pit right there. But they had some bad luck in their pit earlier today, and something with the fueling wasn't working right, and they had to wait for another chase truck to come to the pit to fill them up with fuel. So they literally sat in their pit over on the beach side for a long time and had to wait. So that was pretty crazy there. All right, we've got Jeff Lothringer who says Alan is 14 minutes behind Luke. Okay, so there we go. So Luke does have a pretty big lead right now. He's 14 minutes behind him. However, we do need to look at, let me pull up, where did Alan start? I had that up earlier on here. Where did Alan qualify? What spot was Alan in qualifying? Somebody tell me. It's up on my screen, but it's not coming up right now. Because remember, they started a minute apart. So let me see if I can do this real quick. Let's see. Let me try to get to the results here for you guys somehow. Hold on. We go back to this screen real quick. Let's go like this. Go back here. Let's change this. Results. We can go to qualifying, trophy truck spec, overall combined results. All right, so here we go. So Bryce was first. So Luke was second, and then look at where Alan was. So Alan was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes behind him. So 6 minutes split that he started. He started 6 minutes back. So when we're looking at the timing, and we come up with him being, what did we say, 14 minutes back? So that's a minute. So he's actually only, 8 minutes back on corrected time? I think he's got about an 8-minute lead right now on corrected time. 7 or 8 minutes that Luke has on corrected time over Ampudia right now. So there we go. That's what the corrected time is, with some quick fish math at 10:10 p.m. So it should be pretty accurate still. So we'll have to wait and see. We don't know what mile Ampudia is at because his tracker's not working, but he's going to be somewhere up in here. Not too far behind Luke, but a little bit, because there's a 14-minute gap between them, I think is what you guys just said, right? Where'd that go? Yeah, 14 minutes behind Luke. So yeah, he's probably about 14 miles or so behind him. Maybe a little bit less, maybe 10 miles. All right, that's a look at your top in trophy trucks there. Now let's go look at the next one down. It's actually going to be trophy truck spec is going to be your next class, I think. So look at how big of a gap these guys have because of that bottleneck earlier. Remember that bottleneck on Fred's tractor trail? If you didn't see earlier, there was a big bottleneck there, the 37L. Bob Picoy got stuck there, couldn't make a corner, big bottleneck. It stacked up all the spec trucks, all the class 1 cars, everybody got stacked up there. That's why there's this massive gap back down to where everybody else is now. So Brent Fox is now your leader in the spec trucks, and in that truck, it was Brent Fox earlier. He's definitely out now. So we had Brady Fox was going to be second, I believe, and then Preston Brigman is going to be next. So that might be Preston in there now, or Preston might be getting in a little bit. I don't know what mile they were changing that. So it's either Brady Fox or Preston Brigham in there. So they're leading right now, followed by Thor Herbst in second. So the 219. And in there we have Riley is actually driving that right now. So Riley Herbst, he's had some pretty good luck in the NASCAR series lately, huh? Good for Riley. He's out here in the desert. Riley Herbst is in that car right now. He's going to go to mile 560, and then Pierce Herbst is going to get in. So he's got about, 30 more miles to go, and then he's going to hand that car over to Pierce Herbst, and Pierce Herbst will get in there and bring it to the finish. So that's what's going on there. Behind them, we have the 242 Bryce Swaim and Jordan Brenthal. Abdali was going to drive the 273 for a while. He was going to mile 660. So that is why that car has made up a bunch of time in the past 100 or so miles, because Abdali Lopez is driving that car right now. So Abdali Lopez, one of the fast drivers out there, is in the Jordan Brenthal machine. That's why they're making up so much time right now. Behind them, we got Mike Mersal in the 236. And he was going to drive to mile 380, and then Troy Grabowski was going to be in there. So that is Troy Grabowski. Anybody with the last name Grabowski is always fast in anything, and their front bumper always gets used. So if the 236 catches either of these guys here, I guarantee you that they will feel it coming from behind. Mason Cullen is here next. Mason Cullen is in the 207, and that is actually Mason in there right now. He's going to drive to mile 610. So Mason is in his own truck right now. Behind him, we have Charles Durant, and that's a look at your top trophy truck spec guys. Now, other than that, let's go to the next class, which is going to be class 1. So let's load a class 1 here for you. Now, this class is getting more spread out. It keeps going back and forth. Everybody keeps breaking in this class. The one that hasn't broken yet today is Brennan Gaughan. He's been doing really good. So they're out front now. They've kind of assumed the lead by passing people that have been broken. They were in third earlier, the past 2 broke cars. Now they're good. So they're looking pretty good. Cody Reed has had a broken day too. They've been broken and stopped a few times. They're back going again. This other car that's right behind him is actually a class 10 car. So this is going to be your first class 10 car right here, running second in class 1. Kind of cool. The 1002. We got to look back a ways, and we have Parkhouse got moving again. So they're moving again. And then second place in class 10 is the 1016. Then we have the 1077 Dale Eberts back here with the crazy light setup. So that crazy light's where they got the big ones up top that are kind of outside of the car. They're taking full advantage of that right now. Well, not right now because they're on the highway. So they have those lights definitely off right now. But once they turn left right here, then they will be taking advantage of those lights, that lights setup they have on there that looks crazy. LSAO's still moving. So we got Nora guy there still going. Good to see LSAO still going. And that is our class 10 and class 1 look. Now we got to go look at the UTVs because we got one guy in here that is absolutely hauling the mail right now. We have to scroll back up top here. Brock Heger is on a heater right now. Remember, Brock actually got stopped in that bottleneck for a little bit too. It didn't affect him too much, but he was there for, I would say, at least 5 minutes probably. Just guessing, but that would be my guess. So let me see behind him. We got a big lead right here. So behind him, we have Caden McCachran's car. That's actually Dylan Smook that's in there now. He's driving for Caden for a little while. So Dylan's going to drive this kind of San Felipe section, and then Caden is going to get back in that thing to go to the finish. I think Caden's getting back in around 6:15 or so, somewhere around there, mile 6:15. So about another 100 miles Dylan has in the car. So Dylan has made up some time too. He was behind a couple of these guys. Dylan's driving pretty good right now. So Dylan's looking good in second place. So both of these are the SCI Polaris factory cars right here. Brock Heger. Brock is actually like 12th or 13th overall, like the whole race right now. Watch, if we go look at his time, I think let's see if it's easy to see on here or not. If we go to the live timing, let's see if it'll show us the full overall here for Brock. So if we go to Pro UTV Open, Brock, so he's 16th right now. Look at it's, oh, you can't see it, it's zoomed out. So over here, 16th, I believe that is the overall right there. Yeah, that is the position overall. So 16th at the last time split here. Once he goes by the next one, he's going to move up even more. He might even move up to like 12th or something like that. So Brock Heger is hauling the mail. He's hauling fast. I mean, Brock always goes fast, but he's really going fast today. And he's driving the whole race. Remember, he has not got out of the car. He's not going to get out of the car. So pretty crazy that Brock is doing that. So let's see what, no, Alan Impudia is not out. His tracker's just not working. So if you guys are looking for the 10, his tracker's not working. He's in second place. He's still running good. So that's what's going on there. So we got SCI car first, Brock Heger, SCI car second, Caden McCachran. We got Brandon Sims, another Pro R, in third. And then we got Doug Matag, Pro R, in fourth. Behind them, we got Mitchell Alsup. That's your first Can-Am that's in this class. This is the Pro Open class. Then we have Mike Caffro back here, and then Craig Scanlon, the other third SCI car. And then we got Oscar Alvarez, and we got to go a ways back. We always got to check on our buddy Ian Kennedy. Justin Lambert was on his side earlier today for a while. Good to see him going again. We got Max Eddy Jr. That car was rolled by Larry Job earlier, so that's why they're back a little bit, but glad they're still going after rolling it. We got Kristen Matlock behind him. We got Justin Smith, and then here we go. We got Ian Kennedy. All right, so Ian has made it to the highway. Good job, Ian. He did his section. This is his first Baja 1000. It's funny, right before the race this morning or yesterday, I was talking to him because he used to be a pitcher in baseball, and he was a starter for a while. And we were talking about his strategy for today. And he was a closer at the end of his career, and today he was not going to be a closer. He was going to be a starter today, and he was on a pitch limit. So it's like he was a rookie, like Paul Skeens or somebody coming in, and they're telling him off the bat, hey, you're only pitching 6 innings today, and that's it. So after 6 innings or 80 pitches, we're pulling you out, even if you have a no-hitter. So he knew no matter what, he wasn't going to win the race today because he couldn't finish it, right? Just like you weren't going to pitch a complete game. So he knew he was just going to go 6 innings and get out, and it looks like he did his job. He's going to change somewhere here on the highway in a minute, and he will get out of the car. And that will be the end of his Baja 1000 today. So good job to Ian. Looks like he got it done. Not bad for your first race going in the big one to start off with. All right, now we have the UTV forced induction class we got to turn on. So let's see. Does he want to play on our softball team? Yeah, he probably will. I don't know if we can afford him though, Taylor, huh? But maybe we can have him pitch. I wonder if he can pitch underhand. All right, Phil Blurton here with Fizz still leading, and Rodrigo Ampudia is back here. He's on the highway. That's going to be his pit most likely that he stopped at there. So that's what's going on with Rodrigo. Rodrigo was actually texting me just a little bit ago when he was in the phone. It's funny because everybody has Starlink now, and then they have this hour and 10-minute highway section. So everybody gets bored on there, and he was asking me where everybody was and stuff. So kind of cool to have all this communication now, and everybody in the car, even while they're driving literally on the road there, can be talking to you guys. So he's in second place. PJ Jones is in third. Eric Kozin is looking like fourth right now. Herman Johnson is fifth. We got 6th and 7th down here. They're most likely pitting down there. And that's about it. All right, so that's a look at that class. Cameron's tracker is not working as well. If you guys are looking for Cameron Steele, the 16, he is still moving though, so that's good. He's let me see where he's at. He's about to hit the 5, right where the course comes up to the 5. So let me see if we can scroll up and find it. So he's gonna be right about. Let's see, he's coming straight into it. Yeah, there he is at 6:10. There he is. Well, his tracker's on the screen here working. So there you go. He's at 6:12. There's Cameron Steele right there. So for those of you guys that are looking for Cameron, that's where he is. Let's turn on the class sportsman, or not sport. I keep calling it sportsman. Pro Moto Iron Man. This is the only bike class that we're going to track the rest of the night because these guys got to get to the finish. So we got Patricio there. He's actually looking pretty good. He's on the highway in Valley T right now. So he put a little bit of time on Brandon Wright there. I didn't think he was going to be able to do that. Brandon was rolling him in. He was making up time when they started this north loop here, north of the Highway 3, and he's actually stayed where he was or pulled away a little bit. So good job to Patricio here on the 745X. Now the 782X, there's two bikes in here that are kind of cool. Well, they're all cool, but we need to check on Wooter, which is right here. So Wooter's in 1, 2, 3, 4th, 5th. Wooter's in 5th. He's been there for most of the day. So Wooter's still going. That's our Dutch boy from last year. He's still going. And then the 782. Where's the 782? We need to find them. Let me see. 7 right there. All right. So this guy right here is a 17-year-old kid. So 17-year-old kid, and he's going for the Iron Man on the bike, the 782. He's at a pit right there. That's a highway right there. So he's at 0 miles an hour. That's 90% sure he's at a pit. Well, I'm 100% sure he's at a pit. I just don't know if it's planned or not. But he is stopped right there, but pretty cool. 17-year-old going to Iron Man the Baja 1000. How many of you guys can say you've done that before? So that's pretty crazy. So there you go. All right. Dave Mason was not in Cameron's truck to the finish. Cameron was going to get back in a little bit. Dave Mason is in Cameron's truck right now, but Cameron is jumping back in with Cody in a little bit. So he'll be jumping back in soon-ish. He was at an undisclosed pit location is where Cameron's getting back in. Now, the Class 11s, let's go look at them because we always have to check on the Class 11s for you guys. So hold on, we got to scroll down here. Class 11, there it is. All right. So Class 11, we got to go way down here. They're way back still. Our lead Class 11 right here, Oliver, is at mile 264, but he's moving. That's all we care about. Remember, all day we just care if they're moving. 8 miles an hour, moving. 11:29, also moving. 17 miles an hour. Oh, dropped down to 13 miles an hour, but moving. And then over here on the beach, we got Eric Slorenzo, 11:11, also moving though, doing 32 miles an hour on the beach. So that's pretty cool. So there you go. And we're being told on time, Brock Heger is 11th overall on time right now, is what we're being told. So there you go. A UTV, a golf cart, very fast one, is 11th overall in the Baja 1000 right now, 600 miles into the race, just about, or wherever he's at. Not quite 600, 500 and something, right? So pretty crazy that we have a UTV up that high. That's just pretty insane. All right, what else did you guys want? What other classes? I'll do a couple more since there's a bunch of you guys on here right now. We got like almost 1,000 people watching this one. I think it's because Score went offline. Score will be back on at 12:30, just so you guys know. So Score is going to go live for the finish, and they'll be back on around 12:30 for more updates. Class 7 only has 3 racers in it. There is like 7F also. So Class 7, Dan Shamley, he's always moving along. He's just moving along. So Dan Shamley's still moving along. That is Class 7. Richard Faint is showing his 2nd place. So I think that's actually, is that the Jackal, if I'm not mistaken, the 711 possibly? The 700F, that's a different class. Justin Park is moving. And then the 740 up here is not moving. I think that's like 7S or something like that. So that's a look at your Class 7s. Randy had an issue with the motor, and Randy did not race the race. So we're not going to see Randy on here. I think they blew the engine up in testing. So not good for Randy. Bummer for him. What else do you guys want to see? Class 11, I just showed you guys Class 11. Pro Stock UTV. Okay, so Pro Stock UTV, here you go. So oh yeah, we haven't looked at them all day. I forgot about them. So Pro Stock, there's so many UTV classes. Caden Wells, not surprised. He is always up front in that class, but it is not his fiance riding with him. Emma is not in there this time because she has to graduate school. So I told her you can always graduate school later. There's only a few Baja 1000s. You should have gone to the Baja 1000, but she didn't. She's probably watching right now. But Caden is kicking ass. He's in first place, like always, in the Pro Stock class. Behind him, we got Francisco Beltran, 2nd, and then George Cano next, Jorge Cano. We got Fernando down here. We got Ricardo there. And then we have John Meek here and Annabelle Lopez there. So that's a look at your leaders in the stock class, stock UTV class. Somebody says, what happened to Green Army? Well, Green Army broke earlier, and then they had their chase crew go backwards on the race course, which is an automatic DQ. And the problem is they did it right on the live stream, and Score had it live when they did it. So unfortunately, they got DQ'd. So big bummer for them because Kyle Jurgensen was laying down a heater. He got first in qualifying, and he was on it. He was on it until they had whatever issue they had. It looked like maybe something with the steering or something in the front of the truck. But they weren't able to keep going because if they did, they were going to be DQ'd. So they asked Score, and they said, yeah, you're going to be DQ'd. So they put it on the trailer because they're going to be DQ'd. So that's no good. Top tip, if you guys break, turn the cameras off. Just top tip. All right. What else do we have here? Other top tip, don't go backwards on the course. That's a more important top tip. All right. Score Pro UTV naturally aspirated. So this is the NA class. We have 1925 Michael McFadden still up front. That's probably a pit there because they are on the highway. 1957 Joe Bolton, 2nd. David Petter, 1984. Okay, that's not a good spot to be stopped. Let me see. Do we have another bottleneck going on here? Yeah, look at this. This is the corner on Fred's. So, oh, hold on. Where'd it go? I zoomed in too far. Stand by. Stand by. This thing is jumping all over. Okay, so this is the turn on Fred's that's been really tough. So now we have Jonathan Brenthal there that is also stuck on that same turn that we saw the 27. So some with the 27, that was a 37. I was going to say 27L. The 37L caused the bottleneck here earlier, and now Jonathan Brenthal is also stopped there. Probably the same issue as the 37. They went off a little bit too far, and they have to like build up an edge to be able to get around the corner. So the 27 is bottlenecking Fred's tractor trail right now at mile 395. We got David Petter sitting in the bottleneck, Lawrence Janeski sitting in the bottleneck, Kevin Adler sitting in the bottleneck, and Jorge Cano sitting in the bottleneck. So that is that's what's going on right there. And then the 1000 car doesn't know what's coming yet, but as soon as they come around a couple more corners, they're going to be stuck in the bottleneck as well. So hopefully they can get going, and some of these other guys behind them, Dan Shamley, that's going to be your class leader, is going to be in a bottleneck in a minute. So that's definitely not a great situation going on down there. Number 70 is not going, or they were not going earlier. It sounded like they had power issues, maybe ran out of batteries or something. They were stopped up here. There they are right there. So they have issues with power. They're having power issues right there with the truck. So the 70 is stopped. They've been stopped for, I don't know, a couple hours now, actually. They broke not long after the 46 stopped up here. So the 70 Concrete Motorsports truck is down there, and they've been sitting there for a while, so they have some kind of power issue. Also, the 263 EJ Herps, they ran out of gas earlier. It sounded like maybe they didn't get enough gas at the pit, and they ran out of gas when they were leading the race, which is a major bummer for the 263. Stuff happens, it's a mistake. Stuff happens. It is what it is, but bummer for them. I don't know what happened to them now. That was earlier in the race, but now it looks like they are stopped with another reason there. So, all right, that was a long update for you guys. I got to go and post some social stuff. So we'll be back. Don't worry, I'll be with you guys all night. We're not going to bed. We're not taking a break. We'll be here till the finish every hour. Let's see what do you guys think for timing wise? Someone's asking me, what time are the leaders going to be done? Well, Luke McMillan is right here. So he's at 681 and he's got 864. So he's got just under 200 miles to go. If he was doing 50 miles an hour, that would be about 4 hours, but then you got that transit section, so it's probably more like 3.5. I'd say probably 3 hours from right now, so 10, 11, 12, 1:30. That's looking pretty good. I think on our pre-race show, Nate guessed 1:30, and that's what everybody was thinking, was about 1:30. I think Jose G said the same thing. Even Cameron, we were all right about 1:30. Between 1 and 2 was our guess, and it's looking like he's right on track for Luke McMillan to be done somewhere around 1:30 a.m. So in just about 3 hours to go for our lead car. It might even be a little bit less. It might be more like 1 o'clock. So that's what my question is there. Somebody says, is the Shark racing? No, the Shark is not racing. The Land Shark was out pre-running. The Herps had it down there and they were pre-running with it. The rumor is they might race it in the future at like Nora again, like they did when it burned. They were racing it at Nora. It's not legal in SCORE. You cannot race the Land Shark unless they made an exemption and they grandfathered it in. But it's not legal in Class 1 because it has a solid rear axle. So solid rear axles have been banned in Class 1 because of the Land Shark dominating for so many years, basically. They can't race it in Trophy Truck because it doesn't have fenders on the front. You have to have a hood with fenders that cover the front wheels in order to race it in Trophy Truck. So they would have to change the body on the front of the truck to race it in Trophy Truck, or they could race it in Sportsman Truck, which would be starting in the back and make no sense. So really, the Herps would either have to get an exemption for Class 1 to let them race it there, or they're just going to race it in Nora. So my money's on them racing it in Nora or other races just for fun in the future. So that's what's going on with the Truggy there. All right, guys, that's it. That's the end of this update. I will be back in just about half an hour. We'll see you guys back here at 11 o'clock for your next Fishgistics update. But right now, it's looking like it's really a one truck race right now. We got up front, we got Luke McMillan driving the 83 out front. The 10 is behind him. Remember, the 10 is, don't look at the 10 tracker. It's not correct. The 10 is second, going to be somewhere around here, probably right around this corner. And we got the Tavo is third, and Dan McMillan is fourth. We will end our update on that. We'll see you back here at 11 o'clock.
At Baja Designs, we have lights for all on- and off-road enthusiasts. For 30 years, we have been lighting up the night. We are Baja Designs, the scientists of lighting.